So much about can Fnatic get that lead we often see around the mid game and stop the Unicorns on Love for getting to late game if they keep picking scaling comps. When you ban double assassin, it tells me that PowerOfEvil wants to get one of these passive mid laners, wants to be able to sit and farm for 15-20 minutes before he really wants to do a whole lot.
And that could be bad for Fnatic. The two previous times these teams have met, it was the late game that determined the eventual victor. Couple seconds left on the clock. Unicorns going to go with a fairly standard, safe lock-in here. Vardags on the Sivir. Kikis is going to be taking that Grungle. And I do want to touch on Huni. He trended towards the Vlad after the Lee Sin fell on its face. But Rumble is available. It was banned out in the semis.
Was banned, yeah. But Rumble is open. Febiven showing his old main champion, Riven, in the mid lane, even where his name comes from. Now with two Assassin banned away, there could potentially be a pick for him, but I think you want to see some more picks from the Unicorns first. I do notice how Vardags, though, has not locked in Jinx. That was his main champion in the playoffs, or has been the main champion for him in the playoffs. But every single time he played it, it was paired with Thresh or Morgana, so you could chain CC, pull in a target or bind the target into trap, and then you execute them at level 6 with your ulti as the Jinx. Seeing as those supports are gone, he's swapping it over, safe for Lena and Sivir. Also a takeaway from Fnatic, obviously, who really likes to play Sivir a lot.
Wow, big change here for Fnatic. We touched on Kalista extensively over the course of the last couple of weeks. 5.6, Kalista has difficulties taking down those tanks. And there's going to be Rek'Sai for Reignover, another early game jungler, which is something he also favors.
It fits so well with the Thresh here. Again, this is the 2v2 roaming potential from Fnatic, where they're beefy, they can take the fights. That lantern, you always got to respect it. Not only if you want to save your jungler, but also to pull in someone else into the fight and quickly turn it into a 3v2 situation for Fnatic. Kalista, yes, as you said, she has trouble killing the tanks late game. That's why you're not aiming to go late game. You are here because you are a fantastic laner as Kalista. Your mid game is brilliant as well. So you want to make sure that you can force fights. You can even throw in your support now to start the whole thing. Flay, Box, following from YellowStar. There's so many ways for Fnatic just with that bot lane combo to start fights and also take these early skirmishes, which we know they love to do.
And for the first time all year, Hylissang will be playing on the Braum. He's only played 4 champions to date and has not opted to the Leona. Vizicsacsi on Maokai has been incredibly successful in the bigger picture, but we'll need to see whether or not there's enough damage. Unicorns, I think they're lacking, especially if this game goes longer. We'll have to see what PowerOfEvil decides to lock in that mid lane.
Well, the thing is, if you lack damage, you got to make up for it somehow. In this case, it's by being extremely tanky. So you have these long team fights where, as we mentioned, Kalista, she needs so many spears to take down a big tank. Sivir gets more damage in that way in terms of the late game. Kalista can still get close if she plays it really well. And then we're going to have to see. I expect a late game scaling champion for PowerOfEvil. So suddenly there is late game damage. And you have these long drawn out team fights where you can kite them around and you wait for one guy to miss position from Fnatic. You pull the trigger, you blow him up, you lock him down with the likes of a Maokai, with a Braum ulti, and that's how you win it.
Is that locked in? I think that is.
It is.
Vladimir top lane for Huni. He's going to the champion that got Fnatic to the finals, and we will be seeing Kassadin in the mid lane. It is gaining popularity in recent weeks, and Febiven is undefeated on that champion thus far this year.
I've got to see Kassadin a few times yesterday. We've seen it in China quite a lot, where the whole new Kassadin started with their themes. We can talk more about that in the game itself. Fnatic, though, I mean, honestly, it's fairly standard. The only thing they don't have now, which we normally see, is a whole lot of engage, because they like to run champions like Hecarim for Huni, but that's obviously been banned away. Then they would normally pick an Annie for YellowStar, but they prefer the Thresh over it. There are still options to start fights, but it's going to be more about having the vision control, spotting Unicorns of Love out of position, or if they go too aggressive, and then you turn it around.
Ladies and gentlemen, get Leviathan in the house. The Frozen Heart versus first Gouda is what he was touching on. Is it going to be the same?
It will not be the same, Trevor.
And why not?
That was a top lane Varus. This one here. So, I looked at PowerOfEvil and his solo queue. He had one Varus game. I was a bit surprised. Why is this man playing Varus in the mid lane? So I started to look towards what Varus can do. And he fits in with these long-range poke champions that he likes to play. What you want to do, here's what I'm expecting at least from him, is you aim for early Brutalizer, get cooldown reduction boots, so you get about 40% cooldown reduction in the end. that means your cooldown on Q, because now when you charge the Q, the cooldown starts already, not when you fire it. That was one of the changes to him. So the cooldown drops down really, really low, like 1 or 2 seconds at rank 5. And then you just max out armor penetration, brutalizer, last whisper, then you add in a BF sword later. And your poke damage in the mid game is insane. It is so high, and you have such a low cooldown that you can keep firing away. And because Fnatic is not running this hard engage composition, they gotta throw in the Thresh to really start the fight, or maybe the Kassadin slowing people, and then a tunnel from Rek'Sai. This pick might work in just sitting back and poke away.
If anybody was going to make it work, it is going to be the Unicorns of Love. For the last time in the spring split, hit us up on Twitter at LOL Esports. Listen to the crowd and pick who you feel will win. Hashtag FNC win, hashtag UOL win. We are on to Summoner's Rift for the spring split finals. And there is a Varus mid lane.
Yeah, if there's one team to pull that out in the final, in front of so many people here in Spain, it's Unicorns of Love. Flask start for PowerOfEvil, running Ghost like he likes to do, and these immobile carries. Can't believe I just said that. I'm not even a Varus in this sense. But it's also it's a good lane matchup. I mean, Kassadin is not going to be able to do a whole lot against him. He's going to be able to push him down to his own tower, poke him away, maybe even force him back. We see tough start from Febiven. Obviously respecting the damage that's going to come from PowerOfEvil. We have seen some AP Varus in solo queue from time to time. This is not the case.
No, I'm not going to believe that.
This is armor penetration. I'm going to shoot you in the face, and if you don't engage on me, you're going to have to go back to base, and I'll take your tower.
Well, Deficio, I want to touch on 2 things we mentioned in Picks and Bans. Fnatic have got 2 scaling solo laners in Vlad and Kassadin. And as we've already mentioned, it was the late game that cost them the 0-2 during this regular split. And on the side of Unicorns, they are severely lacking that AP damage. There is a small amount that comes in, but you have to feel it could be lacking if enough armor is picked up.
Oh, I agree 100%. Fnatic, with them stacking armor, we know Hourglass is coming in for both Vladimir and Kassadin. That is very normal in their build path. I mean, what we have seen from Kassadin's lately is Rod of Ages, then you get a Codex, then you get your Hourglass. You might even get it earlier in this situation because of all the physical damage for Unicorn. So there's 2 solo laners who will always stack armor in the first place. Rek'Sai is going to do the same. So yes, Unicorns of Love will lag behind in damage. They're suddenly the ones who's looking to snowball and mid-game lead. Once you start hitting that armor penetration spike in the mid-game from Varus, get the Brutalizer, maybe even the Last Whisper, then you're going to see them start grouping, and Kassadin offers 0 proper wave play to stop them. And that's what Unicorns are going to look for.
Especially if you look at the rest of the Fnatic roster, there's not a lot of wave clear at all. If Unicorns can use that Maokai, Gragas, Sivir combo to engage and disengage where appropriate, they could get that lead they're looking for. So we've been following this Varus mid lane. There was a lane swap that was initiated by the Unicorns of Love, and it will give Steelback and YellowStar some free time in the bottom lane. Huni currently holding Reignover's hands. Let's have a look at the rest of the map.
Yeah, Sivir is going to freeze the top wave here for Unicorns of Love, while we have a push from Steelback and YellowStar in the bottom side. Vizicsacsi has read this pretty well. He's already here, didn't have to use teleport or anything. If he just places his ward in the tri-bush up here behind him like he's doing right now, okay, he just throws the sapling. That works too. You need something that just gives you some sort of vision if you're about to get tower doped, and then you can always back away. You still have that teleport, so he's going to get a lot of XP and farm in this one. Vladimir, he struggles in the lane swap. He's not strong in the early levels. Now he's been spotted by the sapling.
Level 1.
Chachi has to back away from this one.
He's not backed away just yet. That's a 4-man Fnatic. They're coming in for potentially the first kill of the finals. YellowStar taking up the turret, but there's the damage. It's going to be first blood that goes to Reignover. Fnatic are on the board.
Chachi, Chachi, Chachi. You put the sapling, you saw the Vladimir, so you know the jungler is coming as well. Back away, my friend. No reason to stay under that tower. You won't be able to defend it anyway. He was obviously trying to wait for Hylissang to come down and maybe help him, but he was way too late. Unicorns of Love now behind in gold already, just by having Vizicsacsi being a little bit too greedy under that tower.
It does look like the tower's going to get secured as well, Deficio. So first blood and first tower. Fnatic starting off this best of 5 exactly as they would have hoped.
Now they can go for Dragon as well. Kikis is on the top side. Only 2 members here from Unicorns of Love on the bottom lane. Obviously no summoners being blown from Chachi doing the dive beforehand. But Fnatic are okay, they're gonna play it safe instead and just stay around. But what they're doing as well is because they're pushing the bottom wave and the enemy top lane is showing him, you gotta go down and try and force him away so you just sit and get free farm and free XP. Also, you try to break the lane so very early, so you get that Vladimir in the one-on-one lane. He wants to be against the Maokai as long as possible. He cannot really farm the jungle properly, he cannot really sit in a 1v2. So by taking this early tower, you can now swap to topside with Steelback and YellowStar and give Huni the lane he needs.
We'll see how Huni can play this one out. Does also have access to his summoner spells. And Hylissang, a man that was heavily targeted. Thresh first pick and 2 support bans for a man that's only played 4 support champions this year. And a man that was given back-to-back MVPs in quarters and semi-finals. Let's see what he can do on Braum. It's not a champion we see particularly often. Does offer a lot of disengage for a Fnatic comp that wants to run at you for those extended team fights.
Yeah, you're gonna have Sivir ulti to either kite back, you're gonna have Braum, of course, you're gonna have the Gragas who works so well in these poke composition because he can both engage and disengage. So there's a lot of tools for Unicorns to love to kind of try and stop Fnatic. And now Huni is realizing, well, he should have realized at least there's gonna be a lot of people.
That's gonna be a kill on the board for Unicorns of Love, and it goes to Vardags. Huni makes the mistake that Chachi made just 2 minutes ago.
Well, both top laners here really greedy for some farm. You haven't seen anyone on the top side. You pushed it into the tower. You saw the Maokai was already on the bottom side. You have to expect they're there. And yet you run in and face check the push. Both top laners, man, getting punished for staying around. Fnatic trying to trade for a top tower, or get a top tower at least. But Unicorns will get the dragon for themselves.
Start that timer, Deficio, on a team that you can discuss the late game scaling. Having an early dragon on the board, if they can maintain control, might be another way for the Unicorns to look towards a victory. While all that's going on, Fnatic have been uncontested in the top lane, and they will secure their 2nd tower of the game and maintain a gold lead. You need to look down on the bottom. Huni, he's in trouble, does have flash available, gets caught out. Hylissang and Vizicsacsi still sticking around. The sapling goes out, but it does pop on the minions. That's Ignite ticking away on Huni as he continues to go back in. He flashes right under the tower. Hylissang is going to take some tower shots, but survives.
He's alive.
And Vardags goes 2
Look at top lane though.
0.
3 guys from Fnatic still pushing in. Huni just trying to draw some attention on the bottom side. Can't really see how big the wave is here for Fnatic, but they will at least get a lot of damage before Unicorns can even recall from the bottom lane.
So let's see what Fnatic can do. Tower is still being focused. There's no minions really to back up. The next line is coming up. So Vardags, 2 kills on the board as well as a tower. This is a teleport from Huni, which is cancelled just to keep the minion alive and allow Fnatic to take their 3rd tower of the game. They're trying to accelerate the gold lead, but at the cost of farm on both Vladimir and Febiven continues to be bullied in this middle lane.
Yeah, but that's why it's so great you get global gold for them. 3 towers down. It doesn't matter if you're 10 CS behind this early when you get so many towers. Also, Unicorns of Love didn't manage to bounce the wave on the bottom side, so there will be quite some minions coming into Huni now that he can pick up. So despite him dying twice, the first one could have been avoided. The second one was just him drawing attention, honestly. And Unicorns of Love put more value in 1 kill and potentially the bot tower and didn't respect how fast Fnatic could push on the top side. Therefore, 2 towers down up there already. Let's see once PowerOfEvil goes back. He should get that brutalize on the first one.
Yep, still sitting on about 2,000 gold. Febiven and PowerOfEvil yet to recall in that middle lane, but you do expect it should happen shortly. Look at the rest of UOL setting up for a threatening invade, but Fnatic were able to secure their blue buff. Steelback is also hanging out in this mid lane. Unicorns, there's nothing to really contest here, so questionable invade, but they are going to get away clean. Take a look at Febiven. He's moving up to try wave clear top potentially. No, because once he realizes Unicorns have support, he's going to need more backup.
Well, he has both YellowStar and Reignover here. They just want to see if they can get under the tower.
Oh, that's a flash death sentence! He manages to catch Hylissang, gets flayed backwards under the tower. That's another kill on the board. And that goes to Kassadin. Being played by Febiven, defending that top lane tower. Unicorns, they had been toying with fire for a while. There was nothing to contest. They end up getting punished for sticking around top.
Beautiful, beautiful setup from YellowStar. I don't think there was any vision on him when he flashed in, and Hylissang didn't have a flash himself. But look at the mid lane. It's not their brutalizer first. That's going to come later than for PowerOfEvil. Manamune coming in as the first item, so looking to stack that one up It's very important for him that he got that instantly and not the tier first, because that stacks way too slow on Varus. You don't really have a lot of spells you're spamming. You need those auto attacks to count as well. But this is going to slow down his power spike quite a lot. Now he's obviously going to wait till that one is fully stacked. It's not going to go very, very fast for him before he starts going towards these armor penetration items as well. I don't really agree with this from him, simply because we know how Fnatic is going to stack armor, and we know how a Kassadin and Vladimir can do late game against you. So this is a bit risky, but obviously Unicorns a lot of feeling that with double tank, even a tanky support, they might be able to kite the teamfight's late game anyway, and they can therefore delay the Varus spike.
So much pressure on Hylissang to get all of those stuns down to multiple targets. With 2 AD carries, the Braum passive becomes exceptionally more valuable, assuming PowerOfEvil and Vardags just don't get insta-gibbed by Kassadin and Vladimir. So many questions to answer. 10 minutes on the clock. Fnatic 1,500 gold up. There are 2 towers in the lead. Some big items completed. Rod of Ages starting to stack for Febiven. Those early towers and the kill, as you highlighted, Deficio, starting the stacking. Nice and early for him.
Very early on, Unicorns a lot. We're 10 minutes in. I'm looking at the side lanes to see a Kassadin and a Vladimir. So they say, okay, there's no real way for Fnatic to stop us in the mid lane at the moment. We just quickly group up. We push it in. We had blue buff on the Varus, and for PowerOfEvil right now, rank 4 on his Q already.
And something that Unicorns have just demonstrated is how strong Unicorns can, their team comp can be in a sieging situation. With all of the ultimates from Sivir, from Braum, from Gragas for a defensive peel, and the lack of initiation from Fnatic, I feel the only way for Unicorns to get punished when sieging a tower is from the flanks.
It is. It is for sure. So proper warding for them should stop it, seeing as a Rek'Sai is not exactly a sneaky champion. Yet a few walls you can jump over with your tunnel, but proper warding near the enemy jungle should do the trick for Unicorns of Love. That really is going to make these late game teamfights so tricky. Because if Fnatic can never really get engaged and just end up being poked away, the way Unicorns of Love likes to play this is not necessarily going for kills for PowerOfEvil, it's just poking someone so he goes back to base, and that opens up an objective later on in the game, like a tower, like a dragon, and that's how they slowly play it. So if they just stay far enough back, Fnatic should technically never get the opening unless they throw in YellowStar. He flashes in potentially, Flay Box, and then maybe you can start the fight and get onto one of these squishies in the back line.
Well, we'll find out if Fnatic can make that happen. Every single time PowerOfEvil charges up that piercing arrow and throws it out, the crowd is cheering, much like Nidalee days of old is what it's reminding me of. Remember, first dragon was secured just after 6 minutes after Unicorn successfully dived Huni. They've set themselves up for dragon number 2. This does not look like it will be contested at all. And at 12 minutes, Unicorns starting to show how their team comp can control objectives. They did it on the mid lane tower, and they're doing it on their secondary dragon.
Good start for them. Normally not a team who puts a whole lot of focus on dragons. They often value the towers over them. The thing is, they are a bit stronger at the moment and had control around it. Wanna just go and grab a free one. I mean, 12 minutes in, the 5th dragon thing is always gonna matter. Kassadin does take a bit of time to scale up himself. Vladimir, we know the story, and this is an ult on the YellowStar.
The chain of corruption connects, but we do see Fate's Call saving YellowStar, trading ultimates. Vardags threw his down as well. Also key to note, Hylissang still level 5. And I want to go back to that dragon point you were touching on, Deficio. As you mentioned, Unicorns tend to play around kills, and then after kills, they tend to play for objectives. And this is a team comp that's not really set up to do the same sort of thing. We'll find out if Febiven can get away. A brilliant lantern from YellowStar. Death Sentence gets shielded away by Vardags. This is a double TP. Chachi and Huni are going in. YellowStar and Febiven are trying to race forward. There we see the team fight going on. Vardags in the background. Hebo Plague is on. It's not going to be enough to kill him. Fnatic are in full retreat. We do see Rek'Sai and Steelback coming along from the side lane. Reignover doesn't manage to get too many people knocked up. Steelback still not auto-attacking. It's Unicorns of Love. They get the kill on the board. And now Hylissang throws down the Glacial Fissure. Knocks up and slows all of Fnatic. They've traded 1 for 1 as the team fight continues to break out. Unicorns unable to stick to Fnatic, but Fnatic not enough damage to get onto the Unicorns, and let's see what they can do. Sapling to try get that slowdown. Huni's looking for more. Can he get Chachi? Spell Shield blocks that Blood Tide, whatever the E is called. And it ends up being a 1 for 1 in extended team fight. Deficio, what do you think of how these teams played it?
Well, we got to see what Unicorns of Love want to do when the fight started. Everyone was kiting back away from Fnatic once they came in from the flank here, and they did get the first kill. Then just figured they could go for a little bit more and didn't realize how Fnatic was still fairly tanking. I think YellowStar also connected quite a good hook for himself to secure at least a 1-for-1, but we get to see how both teams want to play. Fnatic coming in from different kind of flanks to try and get the engage. Hylissang and Reignover fighting each other at a red buff.
No real support for either, though. Deficio, while that fight was going on, it was that little stat that popped up. The last time these teams played in week 8, it was 64 kills in 35 minutes. It was the bloodiest game of the spring split. Averaged 1.7 kills a minute. We're on a much slower pace today.
Yeah, these teams got to step up, man. Go kill each other.
Well, it looks like Unicorns are trying. YellowStar, however, with those Moby Boots not going to offer himself up for target. 15 minutes, Unicorns with the team comp you feel could get outscaled, are down 1,000 gold, but they are the ones making the aggressive plays, so they could even that up relatively quickly.
Yeah, honestly, I will say the late game team fight is going to come down to individual skill or team skill here with the way both want to play it. If Fnatic gets the right engage, gets the Kassadin and Vladimir in there, they can win the fights for sure. Unicorns Love, if they manage to kite and poke beforehand so someone is too low for Fnatic to really fight, well then they're obviously going to be in the advantage. So it's going to depend so much on what is going to happen in the game here and which carry is going to get fed for either team. Varus, while he's had a great laning phase, 141 CS, he was against a Kassadin, expected that he wins that lane, keeps pushing it down. No cooldown reduction yet for PowerOfEvil. He's building towards the Brutalizer. He has, of course, the cooldown reduction boots for himself completed, as we talked about beforehand. And he's currently sitting on 33% because he has the blue buff. You want to get 40% once you have the blue buff. And then you just see the cooldown on his Q. Now he's going to fight 2 seconds, and there's another one. He's not even at 40% yet. So you better dance, or you're going to get those arrows in your face.
We'll see if Fnatic are wearing their blue suede shoes today, because PowerOfEvil is singing a song. Fnatic will be dancing to his beat. Something that our stats guys backstage just fed me. Deficio, teams are 21-5 when they've got the first 3 towers before 15 minutes. That is exactly what Fnatic did. But I feel like with the wave clear between Varus and Sivir and the options Unicorns have available, it's going to be so much more difficult than the stats might say.
Oh, for sure. And I want to see if Steelback is going Hurricane second, just to add some wave clear for them. I normally don't like the build at all because you have 0 damage on tanks late game. And now Reignover.
He gets caught out. Can the stun connect? I think that it will. Vardags comes in. We do see Febiven just off screen, but not enough to get involved. And 3 of Unicorn's 4 kills has gone to Vardags. He's already got that eye edge completed, and Unicorns finding Fnatic out of position.
And Vardags is such a tricky AD carry to judge. His laning phase is not the strongest. He tends to fall behind in CS nearly all the time. And then it's about Hylissang setting up kills for him, at least early on. So that's how he gets fed. In this game, he's just been running around with the team and been able to get the last hits, which is perfect because he's a good late game AD carry. In the big team fights, his positioning is great. His good target selection as well. So it's worth it for Unicorns of Love to get kills on him.
Especially when he's on an AD carry like Sivir. So, tower will be secured by the Unicorns of Love. They've evened up the goal difference, and Febiven now left almost alone at this tower. The rest of Fnatic trying to come in from the side, and Chachi using those scouting saplings in the jungle and instantly backing away. Unicorns not willing to go for an extended siege.
Have to worry about the mid lane. Yeah, so they were going for this top lane tower, despite not really having any control of the other waves. Look at the bottom lane. That wave is going to push into the tower. Mid lane here was already being pushed by Steelback. So they quickly realized, oh, we cannot push this tower in time before we lose something elsewhere. We have to back away and try and at least save some of the situation. Because Dragon is alive as well. And they want to go for these now when you have 2 this early on. You've got to aim for 5 dragons. That's why they recalled, gave up a mid tower, but at least they can contest this one.
We'll find out what they can do. Do have some vision, but not the greatest to work with at the moment. And of course, for Unicorns, they have actually just waltzed straight into the pit. nearly no hesitation. Teleport is available for Huni if he wants to come in.
There's a
Let's
ward
see where
behind
the wards are.
Unicorns. If your TP's there, they can get the flank. Here we go.
This is the flank they're looking for. Hylissang is peeling straight back into Huni. That's an instant sanguine pull. Where's the Glacial Fissure? That's a flash forward from Hylissang. Throws down the Fissure. Now Fnatic trying to peel away. PowerOfEvil is just throwing out a piercing arrow, but I don't know if it's enough. Vardags threw down on the Hunt. It's already timed out. YellowStar lobbed onto the Unicorn's backline. That's a double kill for Huni as he continues to run forward. A flash flare at the top of your screen, and Steelback is looking for PowerOfEvil. It's AD carry on AD carry, but it's not the one you'd expect. PowerOfEvil's throwing out those piercing arrows, and the minions help him out. They end up trading a kill backwards and forwards. It's not over yet.
He's aiming for the Kassadin.
Are looking for PowerOfEvil. The hail of arrows doesn't connect, and Huni grabs his third. 1 for 3. There's Reignover. He gets another, and Fnatic are going to chase down Kikis. There's a teleport in from Chachi. He throws up the sapling. He's looking for Huni. Sanguine pulls away to safety. Lanterns to the tri-bush. Vizicsacsi uses the TP to try get more. They end up trading what I believe was a 1 for 3. 1 for 4.
Definitely a 1-5 for Fnatic. TP came in at first. It looked bad with Huni coming in on his own because the rest of Fnatic were not ready to join. So with him pulling, getting out at first, at least bought enough time for Reignover and Febiven to come around the sides and win the fight. We get to see what happens in a straight-up 5-on-5 team fight where Fnatic can get onto the carries. They are the stronger ones. Unicorns of Love didn't manage to land any poke beforehand and simply got caught in a bad spot around the river. The dragon is still alive, by the way.
Deficio, 12 kills on the board at 20 minutes. Teams know the dragon's still up, so they're just going to reposition and let's do the dance again.
There's no
piercing
flash
arrow,
TP now.
And those hail of arrows coming out from PowerOfEvil. He's got a little bit of poke, but he needs more. Movement speed buff from the crab is allowing him to peel backwards. But look, nobody's continuing to focus. Febiven trying to look for a flanking opportunity, and the rest of Unicorns, they're on Dragon.
And once again, Fnatic has already set up the side lanes. Top lane's in position. Huni, though, is very, very low. Fnatic might have to give this one up, but then again, Unicorns are tanking the Dragon, so everyone taking some poke. Here's Febiven.
Febiven goes in. He does get that null sphere out. They're trying to turn. The Chain of Corruption doesn't connect. It's the most missed skill shot in the game. Dragon number 3 goes to Unicorns, and they instantly peel away. And
Fnatic ping on the map,
dance. What can they get from it? No TP for Huni to go top lane. Unicorns trying to play for the 5-dragon objective.
Fnatic can at least try and get a few wards in the jungle of Unicorns of Love here on the top side because they know someone is going back to defend the minions. And there's still 5 guys together. That's what they're aiming for here. We'll also get a pink ward. Still fairly low, at least Reignover from all the poke. That's how Unicorns of Love want to set them up instead. Now, early Baron, Fnatic likes to do this. They place a ping ward and they expect you not to have any vision. There was a ward outside though. Unicorns are on their way.
Let's see what they can do. Kikis does not have flash available. Piercing arrow goes out. Reignover and Huni are going low. Hylissang got Glacial Fissure. Baron is going down. Who gets the kill?
Kikis!
Kikis! The Unicorns of Love prove that they are magical. They claw back the deficit. And with Baron Golden kills, they are now once again in the lead.
They have done their homework here. Fnatic will always try and go for an early Baron if they think you're back in base. They had a ward outside. You can still see the pink on the map, so they went in. And Kikis, PowerOfEvil did it in the semi-final. Kikis, he's doing it in the final. And this is such a huge boost for Unicorns of Love.
Wave clear and all of the stats. Let's see what they can get. Everybody Fnatic will be up in 5 seconds. Minions slowly being killed away. Unicorns of Love are going to take their second tower. Here comes Reignover. He's managed to get into the back line, but there's no real support. And to throw out the Prey Seeker, and ends up just being a dissuasion technique. Unicorns were in full retreat. And Rek'Sai, played by Reignover, ensured they got out. Baron buff recalls and the Unicorns have exposed the base.
And Fnatic, they keep having these side lanes pushing for them. Let's talk about that after. Baron started, the ward spotted them, so Unicorns will be here to fight. Kikis at first, throws in his ulti, and then he just body slams over, smites on 572 HP, gets it. They win the fight because Fnatic is already low and stuck in a Baron pit. Once we come out here, let's see if Fnatic could get anything, because they had the bottom lane pushing. It looks like we might get another fight.
We'll find out. We do see Fate's Call just to keep YellowStar alive. Chain of Corruption catches onto Huni. He's forced to Sanguine Pool. Hourglass is available. We will pop
it down here.
Delay just a little bit of time. He won't be able to get to the Lantern as Unicorns get another kill. It goes to Vardags. Chachi's looking for more. Righteous Glory's not available. Here comes Hylissang. He's going to hop over. That's a flash forward. Does manage to get that. Concussor blows down. We do see Steelback is rooted. Piercing arrow from downtown. Unicorn, and PowerOfEvil powers through for a kill. Unicorns, they're onto the inhibitor.
They're gonna get that one here. This Baron has done so much for them. They got the mid lane towers, get the fight as well. You can see how Fnatic are trying to use the minions, but Unicorns of Love, they respond every single time and manage to stop them. Reignover wants a red buff.
Might be in trouble.
Yeah, you don't want that red buff, mate.
It's going to be a little bit of a slow coming out from PowerOfEvil, but he does manage to get out. Unicorn's not sticking around for the buff. We'll have a look in the jungle in a second. But PowerOfEvil 2-1-5. He's got a 50 CS advantage. All the armor penetration in the world and the cooldown that you were talking about, Deficio. Death Sentence connects on Hylissang, but YellowStar, you do not want Altigra Braum. He will be taking you down. Huni gets a decent hemo play, but there's no damage to follow it up. The pop isn't going to kill anyone. Here comes Febiven, but don't jump into 4. That will end badly. Vardags managed to get the hit and actually secures the kill. I think that was a red buff that did it. Now we see it's going to be Reignover going down. They're going to chase Steelback into his base. Unicorns of Love are running rampage across Fnatic and destroying turret after turret. This looks like game 1 is in the bag.
Yeah, what happened the last few minutes? Unicorns of Love just managed to get everything from the Baron to the towers to the base of Fnatic. They've been winning the last few team fights. PowerOfEvil, as soon as he got that armor penetration, started just shooting through people. They couldn't dance. They got hit by nearly everything. Unicorns of Love, what a start.
Second inhibitor down at 25 minutes. Fnatic looking for something, but not going to find it. Reignover, Void rushes in and tunnels out. We do see Huni in and amongst the team. That's a very good knockup. Chain of Corruption will spread and hold Fnatic in place as Unicorns have bought time to retreat. Look at how powerful that ability is. Piercing arrow after piercing arrow is piercing Fnatic fans' hearts. Game 1 of the series, strongly in control from the young upstarts.
And now,
what a game.
We reset everything. Fnatic gets to clear out these minions here. Dragon is up in about a minute's time. That's going to be the next objective here for the Unicorns of Love. Go down, you set up your early vision, you keep landing this poke, and if Fnatic ever want to engage onto you, well, they have no teleport this time, they have no flash on the Rek'Sai. The only way to start a fight for them is by throwing in YellowStar and then just trying to pile onto some of the carries from Unicorns of Love. That should not be possible. They should be able to get that Dragon, they should be able to focus on the top side now with super minions pushing in. Black Cleaver completed for PowerOfEvil. We are talking full armor penetration. Even gonna help out Vardags and his damage now.
Deficio, give me a second to just get to this point, but Unicorn showed in their semi-final they could play patient, they could play controlled against SK Gaming. They had scaling comps, they didn't make mistakes. Something that we've not seen from them, Dragon play, all split long, it's not been their focus. In this series, they've got that Dragon nearly on spawn, and one of the stats guys were helping us figure out is how long Dragons tend to stay alive over an entire game, and Unicorns were the 3rd longest. They left those Dragons standing because their focus was elsewhere. What a great evolution from semi-finals to finals in their gameplay and their decision-making.
It's also just been with Fnatic not securing that Dragon early on in the lane, so despite getting the kill, Unicorns of Love, though, they're just powering up. They're going to give this Dragon. They don't care about that one. They're going to take top tower.
YellowStar again does get pulled out. Keep in mind, Chain of Corruption was thrown at YellowStar and it didn't connect. Huni gets caught up by Vizicsacsi. He's going to take the Lantern back off. Held onto that Sanguine pool. Dragon was secured, and here comes Reignover. Hemoplex thrown down into the front line of Unicorns of Love, but they need to get to the double AD carries. Vizicsacsi is in front of Febiven. Just gets blown up. Unicorns of Love destroy him. There's super minions all across the lanes. Piercing arrow after piercing arrow. Huni, it's going to get taken out. Unicorns of Love are onto the Nexus turrets. There are super minions pouring through, and YellowStar doing as much as he can. It's not going to be enough. Steelback in full retreat. Can they get the kill? They're not even going to need it. Nexus is being focused. Game 1 of the best of 5 goes to the Unicorns.
And that was using a Varus in the mid lane for the first game.
Varus mid lane, 5-1-7 out of his team's 14 kills. Fantastic kill participation.
Right.
And I think some props to Hylissang's Braum. I personally felt with the Thresh pick away and 2 support bans, I didn't think he was going to have that same level of impact. It wasn't entirely about him, but he was in the right place. His ultimates were good. and you consistently saw him playing on that front line.
Yeah, he did a good job despite having 2 support bans and 1 even picked away from him. But this Varus pick, I love it so much. The way he started the game by going man immune because he had enough gold to fully complete it when he went back to base the first time, not just the tier, because that would have been pretty bad for him, meant that yes, it was a little bit slower, but then once he got the brutalizer, once he got the cooldown reduction, we just saw Unicorns of Love start going for these fights here, land the poke first. They lost the one at Dragon, but then turned it around at Baron a few minutes later, and that was just the turning point here. Suddenly Fnatic fell way too far behind for Vladimir and Kassadin to ever scale up into late game, and Unicorns just started running over them.
And the scary thing is he can do exactly the same thing with Kog'Maw. This is the
Even
AD version.
better.
This is the AD version of what he did with AP Kog'Maw in the mid lane. If we look at the damage graphs, more than double the damage of anyone on Fnatic, nearly triple the damage of his own AD carry.